What's good, YouTube? It's the Anime Demon, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be doing a review on the manga Ubel Blatt. So with that being said, I'll get into that right at the intro. So, this is going to be the same basic structure I use with all of my reviews. Story, characters, and art. So, for story. The story of Ubel Blatt is a revenge story dating back to 20 years before the manga's current timeline. So, 20 years ago, Coinzel or Asherit, they are both the same person, but the human version is Asherit, and when he's reborn, he is Coinzel. I will continue now. So Asherit and 13 of the other heroes were given a mission to defeat the country that the kingdom was currently warring with. 3 of the heroes had died on the way. The 7 retreated. And the other 4, including Asherit, the Blattmeister, and the strongest swordsman in the kingdom, went on to complete the mission. The other 7, not wanting to be killed or tried and put in prison for abandoning the mission, they go on and they murder all 4 of these heroes, including Asherit, and were then had the 4 portrayed as traitors, specifically the traitorous lances, and are now, the traitorous lances, they killed them and they made them traitors. And then them themselves are now revered as the 7 heroes. They are each given their own domains, and they are treated with the highest respect in the kingdom. Asherit, 20 years later, he fully reawakens after eating a fairy, and and he is now looking for revenge for himself, his comrades, and his title as the Blattmeister. I would best compare the story of Ubel Blatt to the Black Swordsman arc and the Falcon of the Millennium Empire arc, specifically more of the Holy Evil War section of Berserk. I would give this story an 8.3. Now, it is not exactly the most tight-knit story I've ever read. You can probably go back, I could probably just go read it again and just poke holes in it if I really wanted to. But it is still an enjoyable story, and it's fun. Now, like I said in my reading log, this story, this is a warning, this story is a seinen, and there is a lot of nudity and a lot of gore and killing. This story is recommended to those 18 and older, so I will recommend it to all those 18 and older as well. Now I'm going to be getting into the next section, which is characters. So the characters section of this review. The characters are decent. Some get fairly decent development, but it is really baseline, and you can see it coming from probably China, depending on where you live. Just if you're in China, then you can see it from America. But it's pretty baseline development, and you can see it coming. It's not too complex. There are some characters that are very good characters, such as Elsaria, Atto, or At. Those characters. But then there are characters like Weed and Altia, where it's like they're a big part of maybe the first 2 or 3 volumes, and then they're just gone. You don't see them ever again. And that's one thing I always look for now when I read series. Like, are these characters here for the good, or are these going to be forgotten characters? And then you see someone like excuse me, Weed. He big in the first one of the first three volumes. He comes back in the last one or two for maybe 3 panels, and then he's gone. So it's like, I do look for that a lot, and I think that characters, they don't need to be so always coming back and stuff. Like, it's fine leaving some characters in the dust, but if you're gonna do that, don't bring them back for 3 panels. You know what I mean? It wastes the character. When you could either just kept them in the story or brought them back later so that they can make a real impact on the story. I understand why he was there in the beginning, but I don't understand why he came back. So in the beginning, he came back to help save Ott's sister, but I understand he has kind of a loyalty to Asteroid or Quinzel, whichever one you want to call him, but it doesn't make sense for him to come back at this stage in the story. Once he retrieved the sister and brought her back, if anything, he should have just came back right then. That's the only way that bringing him back makes any sense to me. With that being said, the character section receives a 7. Decent characters, just a misuse of them, if you will. Now, finally, we go to the art. So, art is probably one of the most objective parts of manga, as depending on the person, the art could look fantastic, it could look garbage. To me, I think that this art section, I would give an 8, solid 8. I don't think the art is incredible. It's not the most fantastic art. It's not Vagabond. It's not Tokyo Ghoul. It's not Berserk. It's not even, I don't know. Bleach is, I don't know. I'll look at that later. But it does have some very good character designs. I like the character designs. I like the way the Black Wing looks. And it has some absolutely beautiful action panels in terms of slicing, or then when they're using like their magic ores and stuff to like fire off lasers, and you know what I'm saying? It does look really good. So I will give the art an 8. Now for an overall score, not doing the math, I gave it 8.3, an 8, and a 7. So I'm just going to round that out at about I'm going to say a 7.9. I think a 7.9 to 8 is fair for Ubel Blatt. It is a poor man's Berserk. In those 2 specific arcs I named earlier, the Black Swordsman and the Holy Millennium, you know what I'm saying, that arc. Ubel Blatt is something that I wouldn't say is a must-read from the seinen demographic. There are other manga that I would say are better for sure, but it is something that if you read it, you won't say to yourself that you wasted your time. I think a good representation, like a good comparison to the quality of the story of Ubel Blatt is, I don't know who's seen what, but the anime Darker Than Black, I think quality-wise, and I mean, obviously, quality in anime and quality in manga are different, but I think if we're just comparing it that way, then Darker Than Black and Ubel Blatt are on the same tier of story and within their respective mediums. Now, with that being said, I don't have much else to say in this video. I would recommend Ubel Blatt, but I wouldn't if you have other things to read and you think that there's a lot else you could be doing, then I would say read what you got to read. You can read this any other time. This is a story with 167 chapters, so it is not. It won't take you super long to read it. It took me about 3 days, but it is a little bit of an investment of time. And the physical volumes are about $20 a piece, because these are 2-in-1s. So in Japan, they released 22 volumes. In the American releases, we have 11. So, but that's it. I don't got much else to say. Like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm trying to grow, trying to do what we got to do to get big, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to get big just because, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, because I feel like what I say actually holds some weight, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I don't got much else. I already said that 3 times. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe. And this is the Anime Demon, and I'm out. Peace.